Hey guys! So sorry for the delay. I was making some tea and then I thought, oh crap, I have my stream still running. So I wanted to share with you guys, in case you guys know that, let's say you have winter coming every single season, try to buy things outside of season. It would really serve you well. So for instance, this is Lewis's favorite glove. It's made by, let's see, what's it called? Mechanics. It's a wind resistant glove. He's been through so many different gloves. I think we've been through like 5 different types, and this one really makes a difference. When he goes on the buffang, he's at high speed, and this glove really does shield his hands from the coldness. So normally, if it's getting really chilly on the bike, this will do the job. If he feels like it's a little getting, it's a little too, what's that word, chilly, he does have this, I think it's like a silk or something like that. It's like a really thin liner, but he always seems to lose his gloves. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have so many different pairs of gloves, and it's just one-sided because he loses the other glove. You seeing a thing here? It's all the left side of the glove. So anyway, I went and looked inside of the closet because I know I was organizing some stuff in there. And then I found this. So I realized that I had purchased this back in March of this year. So this is after winter. And this really came in handy because sometimes, especially during when it gets really cold, everybody else is buying stuff on Amazon. They're trying to buy the winter gear and things like that. And it absolutely sucks if, let's say, he had no winter gloves. He would have to buy something at like full price, or alternatively, there would be a small delay. So for one of these gloves, I forgot which one. They said, oh, actually, for this one, wait, no, for this one, for instance, they said that it's going to arrive December 21st to 28th. Right now, it's $19.58. Really worth it. If you guys go on the motorcycle, or if you guys bicycle, I highly recommend these gloves. They don't look like much, but because they are wind resistant, it shields your hand a lot. For this one, I was reading on it. It's supposed to be the same thing. However, I don't know. There's a lot less reviews, and I can't tell you for sure if this glove is the same as this glove, but I can recommend this glove because he really likes this glove. We'll see. We'll see what he thinks about this glove. He's using like mismatched pair of gloves right now, but it's okay. It's okay. I think like so many people lose their gloves, it really is not a big deal if someone has a mismatched pair here and there. Unfortunately for him, he only seems to have like a mismatch left, and yeah, it's not the most aesthetic. However, when it's winter and it's cold out and you have a black glove, I don't think really much people care about your freaking glove. So yeah, we have that. We have this one that I purchased. We have this one that I purchased. I buy them off Amazon warehouse most of the time. So this is like, maybe it's like this one, maybe someone got it and then they said, hey, I changed my mind. So you can see it's like still in the packaging, but because it's a return, it's a little bit cheaper. I think I got this for $14, if I remember correctly, compared to whatever the price is now. So it's not too much of a price difference, but it definitely does add up, especially if you buy a lot of gloves. And then we also have the winter gear, this stuff, and then this stuff, and then this stuff, and then I have more gloves. So this winter we are stocked up quite well on stuff. Oh, and we also have this. I have about, I think, 4 different hats. I have something like 6 scarves. Yeah, it's very important for me to stay nice and warm. And then we also have hand warmers. Paul gave this to us, I believe, last Christmas around there. We went to his place. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful home. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And yeah, this was my first experience with this. I've never used this before, but maybe this winter I might use it because I am a diver, and see how that is. Talking about diving, in New York, there are people who do things like scarf drives, coat drives, hat drives, blanket drives. I'm noticing more and more of them. People are trying to accumulate stuff for winter. And for me, it's like I didn't really think too much about winter being honest here, and part of the reason is because I'm from Hawaii, right? So I don't really think like, okay, well, people need a coat for winter. I assume people just kind of already have a coat. So I asked Lewis very, very innocently, because it's I don't know any better, right? I said, "Oh, why do people like why is there such a great demand for winter coats? I don't understand that, because in Hawaii, if you have a jacket, normally you have the same jacket for years and years and years. I have some jackets that I've had since high school, and I still can wear them. It still fits me, and I didn't understand the winter coat thing. But what he was telling me is that sometimes, people move, or they gain weight, or they lose weight, and then they need a new jacket. I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. And I have something like 5 jackets. But anyway, what I'm getting at is this. If you have extra jackets or extra blankets, or if you see like hats or something like that, especially if you're cleaning out your closet, or if you're a diver, or if you see someone just, putting it aside, then by all means, I would recommend bring that stuff home. Keep it out, keep it outside if you have concerns about bugs, or like, put it inside of a trash bag for a few days, or wash it or sanitize it, that kind of thing, and donate it to a coat drive or a winter wear drive. There are a lot of people out there that can use that kind of stuff to stay warm. Yesterday you saw my little crybaby stream where I was so cold. It was like 36 degrees, and this is us with heat now. So we have heat, but we definitely have some kind of air leakage somewhere. I mean, the windows aren't the greatest over here. For $2,000, the construction of this apartment is very New York construction. You guys can see it in the brickworks. If you guys see the frames and you're familiar with that, you will notice that I'm only hanging the frames on the left side of the wall and not the right side. It's because the right side has no grip compared to the left side. I don't know why, but whoever was laying the bricks did not. It seems like the person doing the left side was different than the person doing the right side. And yeah, so yeah, it's really important to make sure that if you do come across something that other people can use, pass it on. When I was walking over to a certain store, I listened to my community post, Dueno Rito. Someone had dropped off, I guess, like a little pom pom hat fell off someone's head, and it was just lying on the sidewalk. So I picked it up, and I thought, okay, it's 30 something degrees. Let me just take it home and I'll wash it, and then I'll drop it off to a clothing drive. Those clothing drives, it's just used clothing. They just ask that you wash it, you sanitize it, you make sure it's in pretty okay condition before you give it off to someone else. I rather have someone wear it rather than it going straight into the NYC landfill. That's my belief. So slowly but surely, I'm trying to accumulate stuff and then drop it off over to one of those clothes dry places. I have a scarf that I picked up pretty recently. I don't know if I'm going to be using it, but if I don't want it, then of course someone else can definitely use it. It's very important to stay warm during the season. And this kind of winter, it can be brutal to people. Yesterday when I was diving, I had my long jacket on, my long down jacket on. I had my long my down gloves with me. I had my UGG boots on me. It's like I was staying very warm, and I even had my little hat. Here, let me show you guys my hat. Basically, I stayed bundled up as best I could, and it really did work for me, and I'm really happy about it, because it was about, what was it? It was like 30 something degrees, and I was not really feeling cold because I had so much bundles on me. So this is my hat. It's faux, so this is like some kind of polyester, I think. And then this covers over here, and then I have my face mask on, and this is over it. So it's nice and toasty. It's very nice and toasty. And Lewis, he was like kind of laughing at me. He said, "Oh my goodness, you look like a spy of sorts." Like, can you imagine a person in a black trench coat with these puffy black gloves, and this just going straight over, just walking out at late at night? Yeah, that was me. No shame. So anyway, Anyway, yeah, if you guys like to stock up on winter stuff, do it after do it after Christmas. I would recommend, like, even think about stocking up on certain things in March, April, May, June, July. Summer stuff, I noticed, at least in New York, that is when a lot of people toss this kind of stuff out. You have people who are just like, where we live in New York. There's a very strong sense of like free boxes, community fridges, things like that. So people will actually put clothes over their fence. So there's usually these like little wrought iron fences in front of these apartment buildings, and they'll just toss clothes over that, or they'll put stuff that says like free box, and you can just grab whatever you want. I noticed like during summer, that's when a lot of people get rid of the winter gear. Maybe they're moving, maybe they're not, who knows? But yeah, there was some like coats that I picked up, I think around August, and I put it out at the free store. And now I'm kind of regretting putting it at the free store because of this. Like, yes, I'm giving it to people for free, which is a good thing, but I don't know, how many people actually picked it up, and if they did pick it up, did they, did they pass it forward or not? Compared to if I saved it for a little bit, and then I put it for like a clothing. If I saved it until like November, December came in, and then I put it off to one of those clothing drives, I can guarantee that it will directly go to a person that could use it. But space is kind of at a premium here. The apartment is really not that big, and jackets and coats and scarves can take up a whole lot of space. But yeah, that's one of those things. So I don't know how the coat drives are doing. I imagine there might be less donations coming right now, and just because, like, if it's cold and people can actually use the jacket, they might just keep it for themselves. So I have, like I said, I have about 5 different winter jackets, and one of them got ripped because of Clinton. So yeah, I kind of thankfully, that one was not a high value one. What do you mean? How do I make the distinction? So what I notice is, like, it's tough because sometimes, like, what I notice is, like, when you have winter stuff out in summer, people don't really pick it up, and I only notice that because sometimes I'll walk past areas and then they'll have, a bunch of winter stuff out, and then if I come back a couple hours later, the winter stuff will still be out there. So yeah, compared to now, because it's getting colder, if someone leaves a winter jacket out, it'll be snatched immediately. So, yeah, it's just like a seasonal thing. You guys know that I went on this whole holiday kick thing for Christmas after Christmas. So, I bought a bunch of Christmas stuff, I think in February. The Christmas trees that I got at the new store. Hold on, the Christmas trees that I got between at the new store, I think I bought that in like late January. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Hold on, you guys. Oh my gosh. This damn notification. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was getting so many of these text message notifications. So how do I make the distinction? So when I hang up stuff on the wall, on the left side is all the frames, and on the right side there's no frames, because the right side of the wall has there's no space that I can put the brick clips on there because it's so freaking shallow. So the left side has enough grip that I can put the brick clips on, but the right side, it's just basically flat, so I don't have enough area to cling on the brick clip. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but that's the way things are. So anyway, I muted my notifications for now. It's not a big deal, but yeah. So if you want to buy things, if you anticipate, let's say, decorating for Christmas next year, which I think a lot of people are planning to do, or holiday season, I would recommend buying things out after the holiday season or after the season. Buy winter gloves after winter is over. Buy Christmas stuff after Christmas. Buy Halloween stuff after Halloween. Thanksgiving stuff after Thanksgiving. it's good to have this kind of stuff on hand because as I mentioned before, when everybody else is trying to buy this kind of stuff, expect this stuff to go out of stock or the price might be a little higher. And it's very important, you know, to just kind of save money in my opinion, or just be a little smarter with things if you do have the space to store things. For us, we have, let's see, we have one glove over here, we have two gloves over here, and we have three gloves over here. This one I bought because it's like battery heated. It was pretty fancy. Like, I don't know if it works because I never tried it, but it's supposed to be like heated up with the battery pack of sorts or batteries, and then it's supposed to provide some heat. And I thought Lewis might like this, but before he got to try this, he tried these gloves and he really really liked it. And he's gonna move on to these gloves. I think he has like a motorcycle glove. He has like a different kind of glove. He has like 3 different full sets of gloves versus me. I only have, basically, I have 2 sets of gloves that I use. One is, no, 3 sets, no, 4 sets actually. I have 2 sets of diving gloves, 1 down feather glove, that's for winter, and then one kind of thin cotton glove. And then I also have, wait, no, I actually have a pair of leather gloves that I picked up, but they're mismatched. Yeah, someone put them inside of a free box, and I didn't realize they were mismatched leather gloves, but they work, and they're quite nice. The grip is, let me show it to you guys. So, in case you guys ever wanted to know how much I love command strips, I have like a whole bunch of them. I gotta put this all away afterwards. But anyway, command. Okay, so this is the grit clips. How they work is this. And I've used a whole bunch of them. I was kind of thinking to myself, crap, I don't know why I bought it. I think this is a 10 pack. I don't know why I bought a 10 pack because I don't really need to have 10, and next thing I know I have 8 frames on the wall, so I only have these 2 left. The way this thing works is that you see that, you know how like a brick is like a rectangle? It's you put this on the top and then you kind of push this down, or you wait, actually wait, no, how do you do this? Yeah, you either push down this way because it's a spring, and then you kind of hook it up this way. Yeah, so I usually press down, like pretend this is the bottom of the brick right here. I usually go like this and then kind of go like that, or you could do it the other way too. So it kind of snugly holds the brick, but you need to have like a bunch of like space. I think it's only like 1/4 of an inch. But if you don't have that grip, it's not going to stick on, and then you hang the picture from here or here. So usually there's like a piece of string or a clip, and it works. But they said it holds 25 pounds. I do not trust this brick clip at all. I have like really light frames, and even the frames that I have hanging up, for whatever reason, they've actually fallen down. I had a really pristine golden frame, and I knocked that a few times because the brick clip kept falling down. But now I don't think it's gonna fall. I think I have a pretty good anchor on it. But just for anybody who's thinking about getting a brick clip, don't expect it to hold 25 pounds, especially if you have like a really thin ledge of sorts. For this kind of stuff, because the brickwork is so shoddy in this apartment, it's kind of like teetering. So I don't have like a really healthy amount of grip from this, but it gets the job done. It gets the job done, and that's part of the reason why you don't see any glass in the frames. Every single frame, almost every single frame, has gotten dropped at least once, and the glass is just so fragile. I just don't trust it. Maybe just too much mortar on the bricks or more rounded corridor. Yeah, I think it's just too much, just too flat out. It's not how would I say this? It's like too flattened. It's like it's too deep within the mortar. It's not like there's like a healthy amount for me to stick this thing on. You see? So I can't do anything about it. This is a rental. 100% can't do anything about it. That's why I'm using these brick clips. if Lewis decides to move, I am bringing the brick clips with me and the frames and all this stuff that I've kind of done around the apartment. Even let's see, what else do I have around here? I have these too. Remember these? These are the stuff that I have hanging on the wall. These are really great. And then I also have this one too. So both of these, I found it when I was dumpster diving, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, I could actually use this. So these two things really started me hanging stuff on the wall. This I had to buy. It's really hard to be. It's really hard to rely 100% on any dumpsters or any trash bin to provide you everything that you want. So you would still have to buy stuff like this for brick clips. But the good thing about them is they are reusable. So if you want to move them around, you can definitely use that. The brand that I bought was... Oh, look, I have a thank you. Wow, I didn't even notice this. They have a little thank you thing in here. Oh, look at that. Thank you for giving our small family-run business a shot. Your order, you matter more than you can imagine. Sincerely, Jess. I forgot what company name this was. Yeah, I forgot. I think it's like a 10-pack brick clip of sorts, but there's no company name on here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Anya, because Lewis really loves his brick, so maybe he's gonna want brick. I'm not too big of a fan of brick. If there is brick, I really hope there's a lot of white walls attached to it. So that way you can kind of cut the red brick. And I hope there's not red brick. I would like gray and white brick. Gray and white brick would be much more aesthetically pleasing. I could have a lot more creativity when it comes to this versus working around a coagulated red blood brick. You guys know, it's very well documented. I do not like the brick here, but yeah. So that is that. I need to put things away. I just wanted to show you some things. Just think forward whenever you buy, when you make purchases and you know you're going to use them yearly. Very, very, very important. Beat the crowd. And yeah. I'm also planning maybe in a few hours to do that stream about the unboxing for the jewelry box that Jim sent over. I finally opened it up with a... Hold on. Do you hear that booming noise? Which cat is that? Someone is hitting something. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Oh, damn it. Okay, I have Clinton trying to knock over my flowers. You know the flowers that I put up recently? Yeah, he's trying to knock that thing over. That's the noise that you're hearing. This boom, 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 boom. So, I have to put that box back. I put a box inside of the luggage bag, so that way it kind of serves as like some kind of stabilizer inside of the luggage bag. The luggage bag is actually next to Lewis's chair because we don't have any other space to put the luggage bag. This is a studio apartment. Space is kind of not really there, and yeah, it's like I always think to myself like, man, I need a place to put this luggage bag, but there's no space inside of the closet. So where else could it be? I also moved the laundry around, so now when you see the string, you're not going to be able to see our laundry drying. You're going to actually see the ironing board. So where the ironing board was, I moved it to where the laundry used to be. Yeah, so they just kind of switch places. I'm kind of happy about it. The only downside is if you walk into the apartment, you will see the laundry smack dab on your right hand side. But you know that is and unfortunately there is no other space to put it because this is a studio. Let me just stress that again. I wish we had a laundry room. I wish we had a balcony that I can hang the laundry from. But everything has to be done in this little apartment, and it's a challenge, and that's I'm not a big fan of studio apartments. I'm really not. I think that's also one of the reasons why a lot of people who are New Yorkers they just go to the laundromat, or they have like pickup, drop off for laundry services. There are places that there is a place. Listen to this. There's a place a few blocks where we live. I found out that they have a laundry room, and when I mean a laundry room, they have a communal area where you're supposed to feed at quarters. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to be stuck in an area where I have to take out quarters to feed the laundromat. Like, I'd rather just have a portable washing machine. The portable washing machine that we have paid for itself too. I picked it up right before the situation, and I think that was like around March, yeah, late March or so. That's when it arrived, and it paid for itself. I think it was for everything put together: laundry detergent, dolly, wash machine, laundry drying racks. I think it came out to about $400, and it paid for itself already. In New York, the amount that they pay for laundry, if you want to do one of those like drop off laundry places, it's like $1 a pound. So when you have pooping Oreo when he was having all his stomach issues, like that just adds up really quickly with all the sheets and everything. So yeah, yeah, no, you know what I mean. The situation as in the stuff that's going around the country that requires people to wear coverings. That one. I don't really want to say it because I don't want the algo to kind of pick up what I'm saying. But yeah, like that kind of stuff. It's yeah, it's just I'm just very happy that we have that, and I'm very, you know, as much as like this apartment is not minimalistic, I can confidently say that we have a bunch of stuff over here that I think we're pretty well stocked up on. We can do laundry. We have gallons of water over here. We have the ability to store a greater amount of food than just in the refrigerator. Really important to be able to bunker up in a place like New York. I'm not kidding you guys, because if anything happens, you know, if stuff hits the fan, I've said this before, but people are going to swarm the grocery stores, and people are going to say, hey, I need food, I need to, you know, I need water because of, let's say, a natural disaster is coming. And when people want to stock up like that, in my opinion, is too late. So if Lewis ever moved to a place like a house, I would definitely bunker down. I would definitely make sure we had things like water barrels, a rain collection system if possible, water filtration, you know, solar power, solar stove, that kind of thing. You get what I'm saying? Solar power generators, like just I would try to do as much prepping as I can to ideally, if possible, be able to operate off grid. I think it's very, very important if you live in an apartment. It's it's not that easy. You know, it's really not that easy. If gas gets shut off, like that sucks. Okay, how are we gonna cook? You know, what a little campfire burner. Where would we go? We can't really cook that stuff indoors. Yeah, it just kind of sucks. So, oh, Aaron says, and Lois will be able to find vegan food because when the grocery here is out of frozen pizzas, they have a lot of vegan ones. You know what, Aaron? Aaron makes up a good point, because I think I showed you guys how the grocery shelves look like after things were getting wiped out by people. And one of the things that I remember was left at Trader Joe's was basically their generic brand of like Beyond Burger Meat. And I was kind of surprised. I think I said something along the lines of like, that stuff must not taste that good if people are just leaving here. Like, everybody always takes the meat. 100%. If anything happens, people stock up on meat. They will always stock up on their steaks, their chickens, their pork, their fish, and they'll just throw it inside of like a chest freezer or the refrigerator and yeah, bunker down. There are certain people, from what I hear online, who are dumpster divers. They have like multiple freezers just full of meat that they find, and then they deep freeze it. I think, having that much meat for one person is kind of overkill, but the maybe in certain areas, the amount of food that some grocery stores throw out, like I heard Aldi's throws out a lot, it's just, you can have the ability to possibly freeze like 300 pounds of meat at a time. Now the only downside about that is like, if you have 300 pounds of meat, right, let's just say that, and your electricity goes out, how do you take care of that? Like, how would you make sure you have stuff to keep it cold? Now I heard that if you keep a freezer shut for completely shut, it should be good for like 1 or 3 days, something like that. You can also get a backup generator for a freezer, and see, it can run off a little bit on that. But yeah, I just don't know what you would do with 300 pounds of raw meat in the event emergency happens, unless you have some kind of off-grid system where you can rely on, let's say, solar energy to adequately keep your appliances running. And that's something that I personally would like to have one day. Be able to tinker around with like a solar stove of sorts. I know it takes like a couple hours to be able to do things like, let's say, chicken or meat, but yeah, it's zero electricity. The upfront cost on some of those solar stoves I've seen is like $300-$400. It's not cheap, but it is, I think, pretty good to have. Pretty good to have on hand if you are able to put it in your backyard or something like that. And in New York, yeah, we don't have any place to put something like that over here. The only place that could possibly be would be the fire escape. But if you're in a situation like that, really not a good idea to have this big clunky solar stove sitting on your fire escape, probably drawing the attention of other people who may or may not need food. And yeah, yeah, so. Oh crap, did I put someone in timeout? My bad. I don't know if I did. Dry ice. And how would you get the dry ice though? If you have to bunker down, you don't have um, access to dry ice. You just have really what you have. So that's why I think having some kind of like solar powered home with backup generators is really the way to go. I don't know what the cost of that kind of stuff is going to be though. I imagine it's going to be pricey, but it's good to have in case of emergency, I think. Oh, you have grocery stores, but let's say there's an emergency, and do you really want to go outside just to get dry ice? I don't know if that's a really good idea. I'd rather just be able to bunker down. Yeah, so I'm just, after this whole thing happened and I saw people waiting in line for hours at Trader Joe's, I went to Trader Joe's and it's like the freaking shelves were all cleared out. It kind of made me think, like, I don't ever want to be placed in that situation where we need to buy groceries every single weekend. If we don't have groceries, then we can't eat. Yeah, and yeah, so, ooh, wow, Aaron has a generator. I'm envious of you. We don't have any generator here from my understanding. I think it's important to have a generator in case power goes out. So what are you talking about? Are you talking about the jewelry box? I'm gonna do the stream later. I don't want to do the stream right now. You're talking about the jewelry box stream, right? Keith? Yeah, but oh, stationary bikes with generators. Here's the thing. I don't want to be. If stuff happens, like I don't want to be on a bike just pedaling a generator to power a refrigerator or something. There has to be something a smarter or better way to do that. I also watch, in case you aren't familiar with her, I watch Prepper Princess every once in a while, and she's a very smart and resourceful lady. Yeah, some of the stuff that I think she lives in Arizona, if I remember correctly. Man, I see her, cooking with her solar powered stuff, and she has a place that it seems like she's very very well stocked up, and I think she said something along the lines of she's been prepping some of her long term storage stuff for the last 8 years. So when the shutdown happened, people were giving her crap like, oh, why do you have so much of this, like a mountain house kind of thing, why do you have all this food? Oh, you've been taking it away from others. And yeah, some of this stuff, like I think Aldian Farms, some of the stuff can last 25 years, and I think that it is a smart thing to have. I'm still kind of on the fence if you really need to have, let's say, 6 months or a year worth of food storage. But yeah, 25-year investment for something. I think it's worth it. We have black bean burgers here from one of those places. Notice I got the black bean mix because I was actually worried. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not like the best at this stuff, but I just kind of thought, hey, let me have like a little bit and see how this works. So this is the only one that I bought. Augustin Farms, that's what it was. Aldean Farms. See, so this is like the black bean burger mix, and it makes 38 servings of black bean burgers. And look at this. Shelf life is up to 25 years. Oh, it's just perfect. So this kind of stuff in periods of quietness, I would say buy this stuff if you want. I mean, freaking one container if it lasts you for 25 years. If stuff happens, at least you can. It might not be pleasant to eat, okay, but at least you have something that can last you for maybe 38 servings, and you have, let's say, a bag of rice. It's not going to be the best survival food, but it'd be better than nothing, 100%. So this is that. And then I just have two packages of this. This is it. We have this one, this chana masala stuff. I forgot how long this one lasts. Let's see. Oh, Best Buy. Yeah, so Best Buy, August 2023. But, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to be like, well, because it's like freeze-dried stuff and it has oxygen absorber, I should be good. At least I'd say 2 more years after that. Yeah. So this stuff and this stuff, this is like the emergency food that I do not want to open unless absolutely necessary. But it's at least it's something. At least it's something. So I just kind of think for peace of mind, it's important to have in Hawaii. If you guys are not familiar with it, whenever there is something like a tsunami warning or a hurricane warning or any storm warning that could possibly be bad, like you see all these people going over to Safeway buying all this bottled water, and then it's like, oh, they're getting cases and cases and cases of water. And I think to myself, well, why didn't you just get gallons of water or get one of those bobs? It's like the stuff that you can put inside of your tub if you really wanted to, and you can refill your whole. If you have like two bathrooms, this would work. Not really one bathroom because you need a shower, right? But yeah, just I don't like the idea of buying all this stuff right when the news hits, like something is coming. Like to me, that is too late. And then you'll also encounter aggression from people. Aggression being people want this stuff too. People were getting beat up, and assaulted because of toilet paper. You know, I heard that happened in Australia. I definitely won't be surprised if that happened in the United States. And that's just how people are. You know, when they want resources and they feel like things are getting very slim or it's hard for them to, maybe they're going to lose out and they really, really freaking need it. Um, it's just not a good situation to be in. So my recommendation, if you can, make sure you guys are stocked up outside of season, outside of, let's say, hurricane season or hurricane, tsunami, you know, winter. And that's really the time you should stock up on this stuff. I heard like I heard like this stuff, like the black bean burger mix or some of this Augustin Farm stuff. After the situation happened, after the shutdown happened, the price of this stuff went up, and I'm not too sure what the price before is, but I remember reading people were complaining about the price of the stuff went up. So if you buy it during an emergency, of course, you know, the price can go up. Or if you have these third party sellers who are selling this stuff, you know, fulfilled by Amazon sort of thing. Um yeah, like you buy it from a seller but then they ship it over to Amazon, so Amazon ships it out for them. It's yeah, people can add a few bucks to it, and that's just not a good use of money. So, mm, yeah, but I don't think. Here's my thoughts. I don't think that people are going to. I don't think things are going to get so bad, at least for this current situation where the shelves are going to get stocked. I think people have kind of become, I think some people have become very apathetic to things. So they hear about the numbers, they hear like 3,000 people die a day because of the you know what. But they just don't really care. They're like, I don't care. I'm just gonna walk down the street without a face mask. Or yeah, okay, people pass, but that's not someone I know, or it's not someone that uh, I I personally, you know, if people don't know the people who pass away or they have skepticism about it, then they're just going to say, okay, it's just a number. Or they're going to think like, oh, there's a lot of false positives, so maybe that's not really the case. And I acknowledge that false positives happen, but the thing is that when people do not care about the numbers and the numbers just simply become a number, that is, I don't see people rushing over to the grocery stores to wipe out things. And I think they're just going to say, well, people pass away from this stuff, but because it's not anyone I know, then it could be a fake. It could be a fake thing. It could be something that just happens to other people that doesn't happen to me or doesn't happen to my loved ones, because that kind of stuff can't happen to my loved ones because it happens to people in other parts of the world or other parts of the country. Yeah, if you're not around anybody, I don't see a need for using a face mask. Like I'm alone in this apartment and I'm not wearing a face mask. If you're in a remote area, you don't need to wear a face mask. But there are people who they go on the subway, they don't wear a face mask, or they're walking on a crowded street, they don't wear a face mask. Yeah, my stance on that is I think people well, because people are getting so apathetic to it, it's going to turn into kind of like a survival of the fittest sort of thing, and they're going to say, well, I guess all those people, they just weren't strong enough, you know. But that's not my problem that they're not strong enough. That's their problem. That's their own family's issue that they have to deal with. And my family is going to be strong, so we don't have to think about this stuff. So that's why we don't believe in wearing face masks, because nobody that I personally know got sick from it. So yeah, it saddens me when I hear about people who just make such a big fuss about face masks and when they go into a freaking retail store or something like that. I'm happy I don't really hear about it too much, but it's dangerous when people just kind of think like, yeah, I'm not gonna wear a face mask. You can't tell me what to do. And yeah, I know I'm a customer at this store, but you can't tell me what to do. How dare you? I'm an adult. I'm an American citizen. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Um, yes, people tell themselves the germs don't survive in the open. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got. You know what? I gotta send you guys a picture and post on my community page. So the outdoor dining in New York, I've seen it, and it's not it looks freaking terrible. Okay, so it's like a freaking tent, and all four sides are basically enclosed. So it's like a plastic house, and it gets away with being outdoor dining. And I was thinking to myself, how the hell is outdoor dining going to make it when it's 36 degrees or 20 degrees outside and it's snowing? I am not going to want to sit in a plastic tent outside eating any meal when it's that freaking cold for sure. So I've seen outdoor dining in New York lately, and it's basically all empty. There's barely any people sitting outside, especially when it gets super chilly. It's nobody wants to eat, and you can tell that the restaurants are still open because they have the outdoor lighting still on. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like I think a lot of restaurants are gonna suffer a lot because of the outdoor dining, even more so in the wintertime. Yeah, I mean, I acknowledge there are things like false positives out there. I don't know how big of an issue it is, but yeah, I also have concerns about how they're reporting the deaths. It's not like if someone has, let's say, an illness plus they end up positive for, uh, the stuff that's floating around, then their death is going to be listed as the stuff that's floating around, when in fact it could have been you know, obesity that killed them instead. It could have been, failing heart from a heart attack. Well, like if someone was tested positive for the disease, right, or the virus, and then they ended up passing away from a heart attack, wouldn't it be listed as the thing that's floating around? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's I mean, it's just like all this stuff that's floating around. I'm like, ugh. It's just so multi-layered, and it's sad because I remember I was reading something online. I remember I had to make like $30,000 or something like that, Aaron. But I remember hearing something online that they said, back in 2001, right? When you hear it's like 3,000 Americans died in a single day, like the whole nation, right? We just had like this collective mourning, right? It's tragic. You see what happened with the Twin Towers, and you think like, okay, you can never happen again. Now when I hear the news and they say 3,000 people pass away, I know that there are people outside who think like, oh, okay, what's the big deal? It's just 3,000 people. It's not that. Okay, so what? Yeah, so it's I think people have just gotten very kind of numb to the numbers. So I don't know. It kind of worries me in the future, and I have concerns about how the stuff is going to be handled, because there's a injection that's coming out. You guys know what I'm talking about. It starts with a V. But there's that comes out, and I think that you're gonna have the anti-injection people coming out saying, don't take it. Absolutely never ever ever take it, because Bill Gates is gonna put some kind of chip in. Oh my goodness, that kind of thing. It's a way to control you. They're gonna implant something, and if you have more people who are um, not willing to take it at all, then I don't know how this stuff is really going to go away. Because from my understanding of it, if there's something that has to be given, it would be across the board. It would be to the elderly, it would be to the children, it would be to adults, and yeah. So yeah, I just don't know. I'm just kind of worried about it. I kind of worry about what's gonna happen, and then I'm also worried though, and this is just my personal thing. Like I would not want to be one of the first people to take that thing, and the reason being is that I'm kind of worried about complications. For me, it's like I if I don't want to be kind of like the guinea pig. I'm gonna be very honest and frank here. In case there's complications down the line, I don't want to suffer that. So I would not want to be like first round. It would more likely be a while until I personally feel okay with it. I feel like part of it is just like I this stuff has been pushed so quickly out there, and I just kind of think like, if things get pushed so quickly and there's not a lot of time to do long-term studies, it just makes me a little worried. It just makes me a little worried about stuff. So, yeah, it's just like I remember, you hear about these certain medications, right, that people take, and then if it's a relatively new drug, sometimes they end up with things that you don't really hear about. And then after, let's say, about 10 years or so, some of these things they say, like, man, we didn't know that these things had side effects to it. And I just, I don't, I'm worried about the side effects. I'm not against the idea of it, but I'm worried about things that is not, foreseen as happening right now. And the only way you can really know if that might happen might be through, will just be, time goes through, and then if you don't people don't really have any complications, then you can feel safer or better taking that kind of stuff. So let's see. I have never heard about Contergen. What is that? Contergen. Skin disease? Is that a prescription? Are you talking about Contagion? Because I know there's a movie. Oh, here we go. German drug company for notorious drug 50 years later. Wow. Oh, I think I heard about this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was yeah, German manufactured the notorious drug that caused thousands of babies to be born with shortened arms and legs or no limbs at all, issued its first ever apology 50 years after pulling the drug off the market. I think I heard about this. Yeah. Yep, it was given to. Yep, I heard about this one. It was given to pregnant women mostly to combat morning sickness, and that thalidomide, or that one. That's what I heard about. Yeah, I heard about it in some sort of documentary, but I can't remember which one it was. Or maybe it was um that pandemic one. I can't remember. But I remember hearing about this, and it's very very sad. Yeah, it was never approved for use of pregnant women in the United States. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just terrible. Can you imagine you take a pill for morning sickness and then you don't realize until the baby is born, like it causes severe birth defects? Just trying to get relief from morning sickness. Yeah, I wish I remember where I heard about that thing from too. But yeah, thanks for sharing it. It's just like complications. I'm just kind of worried about it. I don't want to be, I don't want to have, find myself hit with something that is absolutely brand new as a side effect or something like that. And it's like, yep, well, unfortunately, yeah, at the time when you took it, the thing wasn't released very long, so nobody could foretell that there would be these kind of side effects. But now, possibly thousands of people have come forward and said they also have the same side effects. So maybe, the stuff that we issued, we wanted everyone to take, cause those side effects. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to reduce it. So that is my concerns about um, being one of those first people who take that kind of stuff. And I think people will kind of understand. It's you're kind of in uncharted territory. I wish that part of me wishes like there was more time that testing could be done, more trials, lengthy trials, but I understand why they wanted to fast track this kind of stuff so it could be distributed. I just kind of worry about things getting, I don't want to say corners being cut, but what I'm saying is like things that people did not take into account because it wasn't visible in the short amount of trials. Like down the line, maybe something can happen, but that's the risk that you have with any possible thing that you inject or you take in your body. I've heard that people have side effects from like Botox, people have side effects from like facial fillers, and yeah, it's just whatever you inject, you can possibly have some sort of reaction to it, allergic reaction. So anyway, I need to clean this stuff up. I have my hinges out, I have my winter gloves out, and I need to organize. So I will talk to you guys later. Most likely, let's see, by I'd say 5 p.m. today, 5 p.m. New York City time. I will be doing the jewelry box unboxing stream, and you guys get to see how it is. So I hope you guys tune in and stay warm. Yesterday, I was huddled up underneath a blanket, and I think Lewis got a little agitated at me because he was like, "All you want to do today is just sleep and stay warm." And I said, "Yeah, because it's so freaking cold." And I took a nap. After I ended the stream, I took like I think a 2 hour nap. It was like a beautiful nap. It was great. I was underneath the blanket. It was amazing. I really needed that nap. So, yeah. He just doesn't understand sleeping in. Like for me, I am very sensitive to the cold. So when it's this cold, my body just goes out to like sleepy weather, like sleep in weather. Just sleep right through winter like a black bear or something. But I feel more energetic today. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's allergic reaction. Yeah, I mean, Dora, it's not uncommon to someone will have an allergic reaction to what, but I'm just kind of worried about, possible damaging side effects that happen down the line, and maybe people have complications that lasts with them for a really long time. For instance, right? Gardasil, if you guys are familiar with that, Gardasil was the HPV vaccine that people were given, and there were school children who died from it, or some people had never been the same after it. And I remember when my gynecologist was pushing it on me. They were saying like, yeah, of you're at the cusp of being able to take it, and I really think you should take it. And I was kind of surprised how aggressive they were with pushing this Gardasil thing on me. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then I told them, I said, I did some research. Maybe it's a very, very small percentage, but I do not want to be part of that percentage. I believe in getting regular pap smears. As a woman, you're supposed to get pap smears. I think now it's every 3 years, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I believe in getting pap smears and checkups and things like that. And I just didn't want to risk it with Gardasil. So yeah, I never took Gardasil, and it's kind of like I kept those kind of things in my mind. And I know that with this kind of thing, depending on whatever complications come out from this stuff, you might have people who will be, very, very, very against taking a injection that that people are pushing or the government is pushing, because they might think, oh, I heard that so and so in like the UK had a complication and this is what happened to them, and I don't want to risk taking that injection and having that happen to me too. So it could be a very small percentage, but sometimes you hear about these kind of complications. It's terrible. I remember hearing this one complication from a woman, a person who was on Gardasil, and she can no longer walk anymore. Her parents have to take care of her. They used to be really lively, and just something happened. It's you guys can look it up if you don't believe. Just like look. It's a very small percentage, but those kind of side effects, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, it's not something I really want. I want to even think about possibly happening to me. So that was really terrible. Yeah, so I guess we will see what happens with this stuff. I really pray and I hope that with this thing that's coming out, is being given to people, that people there are no serious complications. I truly hope that, because if there are serious complications or life-threatening complications, like I was hearing about Gardasil, oh gosh, like people are gonna just like see, this is what happens when you push something like this on us. Like look at all those people who had those who can't they don't have a quality of life anymore because of that thing. Like don't take the yeah, you get what I'm saying. So I hope that doesn't happen with the current stuff that is being pushed out, but I kind of think there is going to be a small percentage of people who do have really bad complications, and we will see what happens. Uh, Please get my information from actual experts and not social media. So with the thing with Gardasil, that was actually in the news. So there's people who like teenage girls who were able to walk, and then now they can't. They can't walk anymore. It's people have died from it. It's a small percentage, but they had complications. And I think with anything, there's always a risk of complications. You just hope it's not going to be that serious of anything. So yeah, the stuff that I'm saying about Gardasil, that came from people whose relatives or daughters have been severely affected by it. It wasn't. It's not fake news. It's definitely real. Oh goodness. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think most people are going to be camping out of the vaccinations for the first round. Because it's yeah, who I think people have the same kind of mindset. Like, yeah, it could be a good thing, but nobody wants to kind of be the first guinea pig. And I know how people are trying to portray. They're saying, oh, you could be the brave one who does it first, and you can start the wave or encourage other people to do it. But I don't just like pushing this stuff so quickly. It just I'm just a little apprehensive of it. That's just my personal opinion, though. Hey Danny. So unfortunately I'm gonna be ending the stream because I have some cleaning up to do over here, but most likely around 5 p.m. New York City time, I'm gonna be doing that stream for the jewelry box that Jim sent, and you guys can see it. I brought everything home, and I have a table now, so it can all be on a table and not inside of a cardboard box. So Oreo being a senior cat gets it. Yeah, I took out all these like hinges and things like that and food, and yeah. I just have a lot of things to put back into their place. I shall see ya.